Okay, we're right at being live. We're supposed to have people come on, but we've been having problems or challenges lately. Don't have problems, just have challenges is trying to make things work. And it looks like Kurt's going to be on. Let's see here. There he should be coming on board. Yeah, he's hooking up. All righty. Good. We'll get his camera on there. Perfect. All righty. Good. Good. There's Kurt. All right, buddy. There we are. Hey, kid. We should have some other people coming on board, but good to see you. Good to see you. Get you live here. Get your mic on. Let's see here. Unmute mic. Let's see. You're muted right now. There we are.
Yeah,
perfect.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah.
Not only can I hear you, I can see you.
Good. Sorry about that. I was having technical difficulties. I was I can't get in.
We've been running into lots of technical difficulties here lately.
Yeah.
So anyway, good seeing you. And then you guys aren't storming tonight, but you got stormed the heck out last night, huh?
Well, it stormed a little bit when we were talking to you in the truck, and then I think it's going to quit, but I think another wave's going to hit us. So
yeah, we just had a nice little afternoon rain most of the day, so we haven't had anything for about a week and a half, almost two. So it's kind of nice to have some moisture in the ground, but we don't need that crazy wind and everything else, right? You know?
Yeah, perfect. The tornadoes.
There you go. Perfect. There's John. Hey, John. So I know that the links are working.
Hey,
so we got people coming in. All right. Perfect. All right. So we're going to go over a bunch of stuff tonight, guys. We're going to kind of go quick. I want to talk a little bit about science as well. But the big thing is we want to talk about is three questions. Number one is, would you agree that there's a metabolic problem in America? Anybody? Yes, no? Yeah, right? 93%. 93% of the Americans are growing. How would that be a fair word? Like growing? Or we could say they have a gravity challenge. Now everybody would weigh zero if we're on the moon. But right now we have a gravity challenge. And so that's one of the things. And then in the next 5 to 10 years, is it going to be more or is it going to be less? Well, we already know it's going to be more, right? Just look at the grade school kids. And so we're seeing the population has some challenges. And we're going to talk about that. And then the other thing, would you agree that most Americans spend between $6 and $10 a day on breakfast, sodas, smoothies, chips, candy, power drinks, snacks, and in the summer, Kurt, at the soccer field with all the multicolored juices and drinks and bags and cookies and the other which thing, and that doesn't even count ice cream and candy bars. And then on the weekends, if we go to a party or a picnic, there's food everywhere, and someone always has something in the hand they're drinking and pretty much has something inside of an arm's reach away to put down their belly, right? And the one thing is, a lot of people don't know how much they spend, because if they actually do buy anything, nobody has cash. It's invisible money. It's a chip, push here, push hard, right? Enter your digit code. It's not pull out greens. You don't do that anymore. So people don't have a real concept. But $6 to $10 a day would be pretty conservative, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. It would be. Yep.
Cool. So we're going to look at what's going on. And so there's a problem, and 93% of Americans have some kind of metabolic issue. And those things go from everything from heart to Alzheimer's to diabetes to liver to every other which thing. And 80% don't even realize it or choose to ignore it. And the problem is that also our children are coming along the same way. So what our goal is for everybody listening is that we want your health time to outlast your lifetime. We don't want you to have too much life at the end of your health. We want you to run out of life before you run out of health, right? The old joke was, I want to go quiet in the front seat like my grandpa, not screaming and howling like the guys in the back. We want to go out alive and 100% going, right? So that's kind of what we want you to do. The picture people like, I'm 73, right? And Kurt, your mom's 88. And John, your mom's 80, right in there. And 86. we don't want to have our lives bent over. We want to live full. My grandkids, my great grandkids that I don't have yet, my great great grandkids that I don't have yet, they're going to want their Grandpa George to not be the fat grandpa. They're going to want him to be the fun, climb up the tree, throw him around, swim in the pool with Grandpa.
Mr. Belly so big.
They want that, exactly. They don't want Mr. Belly so big. Not so much. They don't want Mr. Belly so big. So what's happening, I'm going real quick here, what's happened in our food, guys, is that it's been hijacked. It has literally been hijacked. And it started back at early 1900s when they took fiber out of the food, when they started hydrolyzing oils. I mean, if you look at your peanut butter and you look at peanut butter, it's hydrolyzed. What's that mean? It's solid. If you make your own nut butters, right? And I mean peanut butter, cashew butter, that kind of butter. If you make your own or if you see natural, it separates. You have to schlock it to get it together. Otherwise, you got oil and solids. Well, hydrolyzation makes it solid. What happened was they took some cottonseed oil, which was toxic at the time, hydrolyzed it, okay, solidified it, put it in a bucket, called it Crisco, which is, right, Crisco, crystallized oil, crystallized cottonseed oil. That's what Crisco stands for, crystallized cottonseed oil. They market it as digestible. They market it as digestible and pushed away lard and fat. So lard, fat, butter didn't have the shelf life. And so they villainized it by saying, oh, it also makes you fat. It makes you fat. And so that's why they can push that away. Now what you look at, all the seed oils. All the seed oils. You take, now that was cottonseed oil, but now look at vegetable oil. There's no vegetable in vegetable oil. There's not one lick of vegetable in vegetable oil. Soybean oil, rapeseed oil, canola oil, corn oil. Those things are so overcooked. There's no nutrition in them. They're solid omega-6s. And you look forward down here, what they did is they take those omega-6 oils, sugar, salt, carbohydrates, create the palatable thing so that it's addictive to you. 83% of the food in the grocery store has been hijacked. 83% of the food in there is engineered for profit, not nutrition. Think about it. Are they making it totally healthy? If they did, why do we need all those chemicals in it? Why did they take the fiber out and put in starches, which are spike your insulin higher? Starches are higher glycemic index than sugar. High fructose corn syrup, higher index than sugar. Vegetable oils, the canola oils, the seed oils are inflammatory. Kurt, you know, when you've changed your diet, you lost face, you're skinnier, you're lighter, you've lost inches. John, you feel lighter when you've lost inches, and that we change it. Well, we're adding the fiber back in that they took out. It's amazing. It originally was fine. You look at, well, Kurt, you look at your mom and look at your dad, look at their parents, look at my parents. Look at me now, but look at my parents, grandparents. John, look at your great-grandparents. Were they all better counting calories than we are now? Did they all worry about carbs? Heck no.
No.
Did they worry about if it was grass-fed beef? No. They just had beef. I can tell you, I remember as a kid, I could tell when the milk cows went from pasture to hay. The milk tasted different. I knew when the cows came out of the pasture, they were grass-fed all summer long. When now they're in the yard and it's wintertime, they're being fed hay, the taste of the milk, whole milk, changed, and I could taste that difference. It was whole milk, but the food that they were being fed was different. Amazing. We didn't worry about what? Well, we didn't worry about vegetables at all. They were just grown, right? Everything was organic. We weren't worried about anything being sprayed. There wasn't anything to spray. It was just food. Then we get into the 50s when they start regulating, or when tobacco gets involved, and tobacco with sugar, they remove the fiber or hydrolyzed oils. Then what happens is there's a guy named Kellogg, and he has an idea that he's going to make his product more attractive. You're going to incentivize people. We need a slogan. We need something to get people to eat more of our product. And he came up with what? The most important meal of your day is breakfast. And it is. How you break your fast is important. But it isn't to eat a bowl of oatmeal or cornflakes and a banana or a breakfast sandwich made with seed oils and then a glass of orange juice. That was all marketing. That's all been sold to you. Think about it. Think about this. Kurt, when your kids go to school, and I know that you guys feed them, but if they go to the school and they eat breakfast, what are they having? They're having a bowl of Fruit Loops, right? Or maybe some wheat toast, and they're getting a glass of orange juice or maybe apple juice, right? Let me ask you this. If you were diabetic, or if you know someone that is diabetic, and they have an issue with their blood sugar, what are they told to drink? Orange juice, right? Here, you need some orange juice. And what does that do to their blood sugar? Straight up to the roof. Not even a moment's notice. It goes in and your blood sugar spikes. If it spikes and you've been to Six Flags on the top of a roller coaster, you don't get to stay up there all day, do you? You come down with a vengeance, right? Now, if you're a kid and you're in grade school and you just had that sugar high from the cereal and a banana and a bagel and cream cheese and orange juice, and you went up here and you crashed, what are you now? Well, you're lazy. You have ADD. You have all these kinds of learning disabilities, right? No, you just spiked them and let them crash, and you watched it happen. If you're a teacher, do you let kids have cupcakes in the morning, or do you get them to them before they go home? You get them to them when they go home, so more they have their parents. You don't want them flying around the classroom all day long. Food matters. Ingredients matter. So big media gets involved. Think about all the tobacco companies. The tobacco companies use advertising to get what? Make a product that you inherently know is not good for you. Who in the world thinks it's okay, healthy to smoke? Who do you think would think it's a good idea to go into a burning building and just kind of inhale the burning fumes? Nobody. But the media said, hey, it's cool. If you do this, you can get lucky. Think about that. Think about the things that went on with that. And it was always related to the fun stuff, right? They're always at a dinner table. They're all puffing away, right? It was, how many restaurants you go to today where they're smoking? And if they do, you just go crazy. My God, this shit stinks and it makes my food, and you'll go away. Okay, we already know that now. The same, but not that. Media sold it to you. When you guys were young, you were watching cartoons on Saturday morning, and you had Toucan Sam and Captain, and they're Great Tony the Tiger, and all this. So when you went to the store with mom, and you're cart high, and you're going down the breakfast food aisle, mommy, I want. Think about that. And that was the cereal you got, right? Most of that. She wasn't getting you Wheaties. She wasn't getting you Grape Nuts Flakes. She was getting you what? The cereal that you wanted, that you got sold to on Saturday morning cartoons. Now, let's be parents, and let's watch what happens when we go to the checkout sign. How many times have you been at a grocery store or some store where the kid wants a candy bar? I want this, I want this, I want that. Mom may be able to say no. Dad usually, well, sometimes not. Sometimes dad can even say no. But if you're there by yourself and the little kid inside your head goes, I want, you know what happens? It ends up on the counter, doesn't it? And you probably sneak it, eat it in the car before you get home because you don't want anybody to know that you bought it, right? So you're addicted to those things. The media's got you tied into it. And so then in the 70s, high fructose corn syrup comes in. That's when you guys were born. John, you were born in the 2000s. But anyway, so the whole thing is you guys have lived with high fructose corn syrup. It wasn't around till I had graduated from high school. Okay, it wasn't even there. So I've watched you guys get more and more of this stuff. And that's what caused me in 2010 to become as bad as I was. And then we lived at 19 into that. So big pharma, and that comes involved. So let's see what happens. What happens is this. These guys, these food guys have got you hooked. 82% of the food in the store that these guys give you has been processed, bioengineered. Read that on packages now. Start looking for that. Kurt, if you haven't looked at it, look for it. Look on packages for bioengineered.
Yep.
What does that tell you? Guys, it's not meant for you. It's meant for profit for them. And what the people that are waiting in the wings are these guys. You get this. These guys over here are creating the need for these guys. Think about it. My parents had no diabetes. My grandparents had no diabetes. We didn't have heart problems. We didn't have sarcopenia problems. We didn't have high blood pressure problems. We didn't have any of these things until our dietary things had changed, and now it's epidemic, and it's affecting our children. Look at these biotech companies. Biotech is a nice word to say, hey, agriculture and pharmaceuticals, let's get together and profit ties together. And there we're caught in this stratus. So when you see someone that looks like Mr. Belly so big over here, just know underneath there's one of these guys. Now that isn't necessarily me, but underneath each layer, guys, is this. We all got the same systems, right? We all have these same systems. We need to deal with this a little bit better, don't you think? So what happens is we get these, well, there's me. Oh, not bad. Look at that. Huh, how did I do that? Huh, gee, many goodness. Oh, I know how I got there. I played Diet Whack-A-Mole. Now, I don't know if you ever played Diet Whack-A-Mole, but I've played Diet Whack-A-Mole. I've tried every diet under the roof and some. This is 38 of them. Now, I didn't try all of these, but there's ones I didn't put up there that I did try. But there's been like the Biggest Loser diet, and there's been the DASH diet, and Weight Watchers, and Jenny Craig, and Seattle Sutton, and Atkins, right? And whole food, and reset, and paleo, and keto, and vegetarian, and vegan, and pescatarian. That sounds like it should be some religion, doesn't it? But that's all fish. And the orange, and the Asian, and the slim fast. And someone makes a drink, and they say, hey, listen, this would be perfect for you to have for a diet. Oh, okay, great idea. Not really at all, right? So what happens is that you try these things, and we inevitably fail. And the reason we fail is because hungry always wins. Hungry always wins, guys. It always wins. And you fail. So, for example, I know, John, you don't think short term. I mean, you're a long-term planner. I know that. But people do think short term, don't they? I will prove this in the creative law. New Year's Day resolutions. New Year's Day, I promise I'm going to give this up or do this or do that. And how many days does that one last? 2, 3? How many ever hear of dry January? Yeah, that lasts maybe the 4th. And then we Americans, we are really great at this one. All or nothing. I'm all in. I'm going to do this. and I'm going to give up that. But as quick as you say, I'm going to give up this, your little child goes, in your head goes, I want that, Mommy. Daddy, I want that. I want that. I really, really want that. Come on, Dad. Come on. No. Come on. Get it. And then you nibble on this thing and you feel shame and guilt. Or you think, I can do it on my own. I can do this on my own. Kurt goes, I'm an engineer. I'm a project manager. I'm a superintendent. I deal with multi-billion-dollar businesses and buildings, and I've got budgets, so I can do it on my own. Yeah, but then people say, yeah. Stephanie will go like, sure you can. Watch this. And all of a sudden, they tease you, and you fail. So then, Kurt, John, you were a competitive college swimmer. You were a conference champion. Exercise will conquer all. No, you cannot out-exercise bad diet. You cannot out-exercise bad food choices. It just doesn't work. Try short-term, but again, that's the short-term thoughts. And then real quickly, sleep and stress, guys, these are all things that happen. And so I'm not going to go into numbers, but we're going to jump ahead here a little bit. Is that what happens here is these things happen. And I'm going to go right there. Come on, diet. Come on, buddy. Get one more over. Come on, you get one more. It's going to go. Okay, it's going to stick me there. All right, fine. So one of the things that happens when we start looking at our food systems and our diet systems is that things pop up like symptoms. So these are issues, and they all relate to too much insulin in our body. Now, the problem when we say insulin resistance, Kurt, when you hear the word insulin resistance, you immediately hear insulin and you think, well, I'm not diabetic, so it doesn't apply to me. But that's not it, is it? Insulin is in everybody's body. And if we're eating 6 times a day, we never let insulin retreat. We never let it retreat. And they don't measure insulin when you have your blood work done. It's not a test they do. So eventually over time, while you've been becoming a type 2 diabetic, but you didn't even know because no measurements were done. All they measure is your blood glucose. And you can fake that out. You can try to fake it out. In fact, I tried, but I was really bad at it the last time. I was really bad at it. But the idea is that blood glucose and insulin. And so one of the things we want to look at, these are all issues, guys, that come up because of insulin resistance. And so what they do is, let me ask you this. Do they have medications for diabetes? Sure. Do they have medications for obesity? Yeah. Do they have medications for high blood sugar? Do they have medications for PCOS or heart disease, Alzheimer's, sleep apnea? Do they have medications for all of these? But do any of those medications fix it? Or does it just mask it? It just hides it, isn't it? So that's why I talk about dandelions. If you told Wyatt to go out and pick dandelions, you want him to get rid of the plant, don't you, Kurt? But if you send John out there, he's going to pick all these little ones off. Well, if you go to a doctor and he says you have high blood pressure, you have diabetes, you have PCOS, you have ED, you've got coronary issues, he's going to give you a medication for each one of these things, isn't he? Right? There's going to be a medication for each one of them. And whatever they've got, they're going to give you. But if they don't have something for it, you're not going to get it. So, for example, there's nothing for triglycerides that'll lower your triglycerides. So guess what? They don't have nothing for you. And so they really don't care about triglycerides. But they do have something for cholesterol. But your body makes 80% of the cholesterol in your body is made naturally. Why do you want it lowered? God put it there. You need it. Man wants you to lower it with profit. They got a drug for that. I can help you lower it. So they say, hey, let's lower it because we can. Not because it's good for you, just because we can. And then they blame heart issues on cholesterol. Your brain has cholesterol. Every cell needs cholesterol. That's part of its makeup. It's part of its makeup. You need it. Why do you want to lower it? Or blood pressure. So we start looking at it, and if you don't treat the symptom of insulin resistance, it spreads. So we need to get to the root cause. We need to get it out of there. And so these are things that happen. And guys, always hungry. If you're always hungry, if you have an issue losing weight, craving sugars and salt. I know, Kurt, you like sugar. I know you like salt, right? John, you just like food. You don't really give a rip whether it's salt or sweet, right? And migraines and headaches, energy, low energy, right? Hard belly, belly fat. These are all signs that you have insulin resistance. And once you see this, you can't unsee it, can you? You may be as close as your own mirror. But if you go outside, you go to the store, you go to the workplace, you go to a hospital, you see it everywhere. It's everywhere. And we need, well, it's a good thing to be fixed. And we already have the ability to fix it. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to teach you my free method to take care of yourself. Everybody wants something free, so I'm going to give it to you free. If you want to try to start helping your system out, you can use my acronym, and you can remember this, and I know it'll make sense. Kurt, you want some free advice? F off. Fast, order of food, fiber, fat, and protein. Now the P, protein, like I'm Filipino, and so the P isn't like Filipino, it's Filipino, so it's a P. So fast, order of food, fiber, fat, and protein. And so remember, you have been sleeping, right? And finally, when you were sleeping, your body got to get rid of all the blood glucose you put in it from the 6 or 7 times you ate. And some people will go, I didn't eat 6 times a day. Yeah, you did. Did you have a breakfast? Well, yeah. Did you have a snack between breakfast and lunch? Well, you know, there was donuts, so I had a donut. I mean, that donut, well, okay. And then you had lunch. Yeah, I had lunch. And then between lunch and dinner, did you have an energy drink because you were tired and have some M&Ms or a candy bar? And then you had dinner, and then you had a dessert after that, or maybe some popcorn because you're going to watch a movie. And then you watch the kids. And when you watch the kids at soccer, there's a granola bar. So I had that. You start counting the times you ate. There's hardly ever 2 hours in a day that you weren't eating. And that never lets your blood sugar relax. It never lets your insulin relax. So the longer we can go on fat burning, the better we are. Does that make sense? And to make that go easier, we drink a tea. We have a tea that, well, Kurt, would you say the tea helps you not be hungry?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. It makes it so that we can go longer. John, what would you tell? Was it yesterday you said something that you went till how late before you had lunch? Yeah.
Yeah, it was like from like 7 o'clock the previous night to like 3:30 the next day.
And you could have kept going.
Hungry.
Yeah, you didn't even think about it. So this helps with that naturally. So let's just say you can go till maybe noon, right? I know, Kurt, sometimes you get lunch at 4. I mean, you're on the job, it's all over the board. But this makes it easy. So it's just that little aid. And then when you're ready to eat a meal, whether it's your biggest meal, then you get to do what? Think about what did they take out of our food? They took out fiber, right? They took out fiber. We're going to add fiber in. Think about this. Even cattle eat better than you half the time. Because cattle in the feedlot, the first ingredient they get is hay, which is what? Fiber. What does that tell you? Fiber's important, right? Then they get the next thing that's on the list is steamed corn flakes. Look it up. Steamed corn flakes. And if you look at what steamed corn flakes look like, and you look at frosted cornflakes look like, there's not a whole lot of difference. Just not a whole lot of difference. But the cows get that and fiber, and they get silage, and they get some other stuff. Now you get the cornflakes, and you get some omega-6 oils, and you get some salt and sugar in 3 or 5 different kinds. Guess what? Who wins? Who's got a better rounded diet? Who's got real fiber? Good. So we're putting fiber back in. Guys, any food that came out of the ground that's a plant that we eat, God wrapped it in fiber. Think about that. Wrapped it in fiber first. Man took the fiber out for profit. Do they care? No, they're happy they're making profit. So we're going to put the fiber back in. And then we're going to drink another tea in the afternoon. Guys, that's the simplest thing you could do. I mean, Kurt, how hard is that to do for you being a superintendent on a multi-million-dollar construction project?
Very simple. Very easy and simple.
Very simple. It's dumb simple, isn't it? I mean, you don't have to think about it. You just you put them in your pocket, you make them and just shake them up. You shake them up in your bottle. And even guys, how simple is it? It even says how high to make the water. How hard is that? I'm sorry, I get silly. So I'm going to just stop real quick here. And I just want to just show you a couple pictures here real quick. Just here's Mr. Belly so big. There's what we look like. Oh, just because it's summertime and there's Lyme disease, just want you to know this is what Lyme disease looks like. I actually had Lyme disease. That is the bullseye. Rarely do people ever see the bullseye. I had the bullseye. And when I went into the clinic, I said, "Hey, doc, I got Lyme disease." He goes, "No, you don't." I go, "Yes, I do." He goes, "How do you know?" "Because I got a bullseye on my back." He goes, "You don't know that." And I go, "Yes, I do." I took off my shirt. He goes, "Oh, my gosh, you have a bullseye. You got Lyme disease. Can we take pictures?" Guys, they don't know oftentimes until you can show them this kind of thing. But this is what we look like. In 107 days, I went from being literally dead to being able to wear this suit, which my mom bought me. My mom bought me in 1970. So this is older than anybody that's even watching this show. It's not older than your mom's. It's not older than my mom, but by golly, it's older than you. And I'm wearing a suit in 1970. This is me last year trying to pretend. And I'm sucking my gut in here, guys. I'm looking at this. It's falling over. It's called the Dunlap, right? Now we used to call that our belly Dunlap over the belt. That's a Dunlap belt. And here's me in that same shirt. This is me there. This is July. Here's me in May. Down to a 28-inch waist. This is me in a 30-inch waist the month before. Look at that. There. 28-inch, 30-inch in a month. I rest my case, ladies and gentlemen. But don't believe me. Here's John. Here's John. He was a type 2 diabetic for 25 years. His A1C is 9.4. That's high. He's a rookie. Mine was 18.1. I should have been dead. But 9.4 is high. Look at his blood pressure, guys. And you come down here. Now look, his A1C is down to 6. Fatty liver gone. Joint pain gone. Mental clarity. Sleep apnea gone. His wife loves that. No jet engine sleeping next to him anymore, right? And increased energy is now 239 in pounds. Oh, by the way, he's called the Iceman because his last name is Frost. He was a professional wrestler. That's why his name is John the Iceman Frost. Here's his wife, Kathy, down 27 pounds. John's down 78. Two of my friends, John and Scott, have lost, between the two of them, have lost me. They've lost over 150 pounds between them. Those two guys lost me. Think about that.
That's great. Yeah.
So here's Andrea. Love Andrea. Look at her. Look how young she looks. Look at this. And this isn't 4 months. Look at that. Transition, transformation. This is Dr. Kenny, just a couple months apart. In April last year, April and May, he was on his deathbed. He had gone septic, he had a ruptured appendix and other things. They are putting him on insulin even because he was so insulin resistant. Look now where look at him. This is his wife, and she was suffering PCOS, infertility. The leading cause of infertility in America is PCOS. It's insulin resistance. And she got on the protocol. Look at this. Look how she looks, guys. Look at that. Look, does this couple look happier? They look a smidge healthier. Jimmy, gosh, you got to love Jimmy. Look at this. Just quick speed through this. Non-fatty liver disease, gone. Blood pressure. Look at all these things. Down 88 pounds. Kurt, your weight and his weight, you'd lose Graceland. Lauren, look at her. Cancer survivor, had high blood pressure, fibromyalgia, acid reflux, gluten intolerance, menopausal, weight gain, diabetes, uncontrolled hypertension, all of this, and was in the healthcare field for 29 years. Aren't you trained to know better? Now look at her. She found the 10 protocol, and in 10 months, feels better than she has in 15 years. Inflammation and chronic pain's gone. Guys, we're changing lives. We're literally changing lives. Reverse type 2 diabetes, down 46 pounds. Went from a XXXL to small medium. Think about that. She was like this for how many years? And a cancer survivor. Look at where she's at now. We are literally saving people's lives on this protocol. Suffered from major depression since she was 14. She's been on the protocol for 2 years, off 3 antidepressants, no more IBS. You've heard of IBS, you know people with that. Chronic fatigue, inflammation, no more hair loss. Look at this. Look at her hair. Look at her head. That's not a wig. That's alopecia. That's what that's called. Look how that's come back. Look how that's come back. Yes, Kurt, you have hope. Look at this. Lost belly fat, improved gut health, decreased brain fog. It doesn't matter, guys. Age, sex, look at this. 98 days. Think about that. 98 days. Look at this. A year ago. By the way, this is the same dress. She put this dress on purpose just to show you this. She talked about yesterday, she did a live. It was all about menopause and perimenopause related to insulin resistance. Look at this. Is that a change? Is that a transformation? I'll just look at a couple more. There's Deanna. I'm excited because they just got on the protocol. She's just started on the protocol. She's a cancer survivor. Look at this. This is a month. Lupus, have you ever heard of lupus? Incurable? Let's see. Off of meds for lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, diabetes, 40 pounds, feeling great. And she was told that what? You'll be lupus forever. There's no cure. Isn't that interesting? Change the lifestyle, change with just our natural food, and she's better. Look at this. Just a couple more. Here's Sue. We love Sue. Sue's a builder. Kurt, you love Sue. She's a builder. She built her own house from start to finish. But look at her here. Her kids were starting to plan to put her in the nursing home. She got on the protocol. Look at her now. Look at her now. Guys, we're saving people's lives. This is our own stories. We can't make this stuff up. Here's A. Marie. This is Vicky. I want you to read Vicky's story. Look at this. She's a type 1 diabetic. What does that mean, guys? That means she gets insulin, and she's so bad she has to have it pumped into her. All right? She's a type 1 diabetic. So she has a pump that literally puts the insulin in her body. She wears it 24 hours a day. She's got a pump. Now, in 3 months on the Feel Great system, I go back here because Vicky's important to know about. She's lost 35 pounds. If you know when they bought insulin, insulin's a growth hormone. People that are insulin, their bellies look like this. This is what they get. They get a gut. They get a gut. Well, she's lost 35 pounds. Think about that. She's lost 35 pounds. She's lowered her insulin amount by almost 80%, 79%. That's her numbers. She no longer has to have insulin before she eats. Joint pain's gone. She feels better than she has in 10 years. Get your life back. If you know someone that's insulin diabetic, here's their proof. Here's proof. It works. Okay? Here, reverse diabetes. Look at this. Catherine, Nate, Yolanda. And you see a common denominator here. Here's Corrine. Corrine's a type 1 diabetic, and she's lowered her insulin. She's lost almost 7 inches already. Cheryl and good old Kelly, they've all working on this, right? There's John. There's Big John. I call him Big John because I've always called him Big John. But John, what's going on here? What you don't look like this anymore. I know you got your COVID cut. I get all that. But what have you noticed different on the protocol?
Just a better outlook, just like more cheerful. And my mom noticed, a high school friend who I talk to about once a week, he calls and checks up and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I just started this thing and with my college coach and I like it." And so, well, that's good. Keep it up.
Perfect.
Knees don't hurt. The walking doesn't, it's a little bit more confident now, like just more stronger, if that makes any sense.
Sure. And what about your clothes? Your clothes fit better?
I feel firmer and slimmer, if that counts.
Absolutely, it counts. It's different. And is your shirt size small? I thought your shirt size is a little bit smaller now.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, smaller.
So, Kurt, what's going on in your world? What have you noticed, Kurt?
Oh, same thing. Lost weight. I've lost 20 pounds.
How much weight have you lost? How many?
I'm down, 20 pounds. And that was just in a month. Feel so much better. I feel lighter. I have better movement. Also, the inflammation in my hands and my fingers, that's gone away. I just feel lighter. I feel like I'm floating in air after weight. Just losing 20 pounds has helped. I mean, it's just really, it's amazing.
Well, tell me the story about what happened at Easter time.
Oh, yeah. Well, at Easter time, that's when I weighed 250 pounds. I decided I had to do something because I knew I was going to die. I mean, I had no doubts about it. I just knew if I didn't do anything soon, it was a matter of time I was going to die. I just couldn't breathe. It was horrible. So anyway, so thank God you introduced me to this product. I started taking it. I was on it 7 days. It was Easter in 7 days. And I got up and I thought, oh man, what am I going to wear to Easter? I didn't want to have to wear sweatpants or, huge pants or anything like that. And I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to try on my dress pants. I put them on and they fit perfect. And before 7 days, I couldn't put them on. There was no way to get them on. And they fit very nice. In fact, my pants, I used to have pants that I couldn't wear because they were too small. And I always had to sort out to find the larger size pants. And now instead of the larger size pants, I'm looking for the smaller pants. So, and my belt, my God, I punched so many holes in my belt. I need to take that picture for you of my belt. I drill a new hole in my belt. I have about, I don't know, 4 or 5 holes in my belt, and they're probably about an inch
I
apart.
need that picture. We need that picture.
Yeah, and I
need
mean
that picture.
Yeah, but and like you said,
Now tell me
George,
about your hand, your joints. Tell me about your fingers. What are you telling about your hands? What was it like?
yeah, when
What's
I was
happening?
using my hands quite a bit, they would swell up and get stiff, and they just hurt. But now they don't. They're not swollen. They're not stiff. It just it's amazing. It really is. I had plantar fasciitis in my right foot because I just admitted I was obese. I was huge for what my body size should be, or weight should be. And since I lost the weight, I haven't had an issue whatsoever with my right foot as far as plantar fasciitis. I mean, my feet don't hurt. I used to have to make myself walk, especially on the commercial job sites, walking up and down stairs and things like that. Had to force myself to walk. But now my feet don't hurt. My joints, like my knees, don't hurt. My fingers are not swollen. They're not stiff. A lot of the inflammation went out of my body. Like you said, the main thing is.
What do the people at the office notice? What do the people at the office notice?
Yeah, when I walk in, the last couple of meetings we had at the head office, people kind of look at me and they stare at me because they notice I've lost a lot of weight out of my face. And people they look at me and they'll stare at me and they're like, holy smokes, they can tell the difference. They really can. Even taking
what about your mood and attitude? What about your mood and attitude?
Like John said, I've had people tell me, wow, you're more calm, you're not stressed, you don't have anxiety. They just think I'm a much happier person. Even my mom said that. Even Stephanie, my wife.
And moms know that stuff.
Oh, they do. They do. You're right, John. Yeah. But yeah, no, yep. You're right, John.
And talking about your mom, your mom's on this. What has your mom noticed?
Yeah,
for her. What is your mom?
Yeah, my mom, she's 88. She was walking around with a cane. She couldn't hardly stoop over or bend over. She's been on it, taking it for a while, and she doesn't have to walk with her cane anymore. And then actually she can squat down and stand back up without a cane. And you look at her. And another thing, George and John, another thing too is your skin clears up. And your skin looks more clear. You look younger. My mom, I took her to an eye appointment yesterday, and she looked like 20 years younger since the last time I seen her. She looks good. Yeah.
That's why I'm breaking out in pimples.
I was talking to your mom the other day, and she told me that she had a tractor accident.
Oh,
that she had been on a tractor accident and about her back. And she was telling me about her back and how it's good now. She works all day in the farm and her back doesn't bother her anymore. She comes in and she's happy. She feels good.
Right.
Her back is.
Yeah, no, you're right. We were talking about that yesterday.
Oop, you froze up on me. Yep, froze up on me, Kurt. So what did you say, John, a minute ago? I missed that what you said.
Yeah, another thing was the neuropathy that I noticed. Like this winter, it felt like pins were getting stuffed in my legs at different spots, and that kind of hurts. And just like my feet kind of felt numbish. It was just really weird. And so that's another, within the last 2 weeks, a whole bunch of stuff's oh, I don't have that anymore. So
exactly. So
like,
the protocol is going to do that for you. Perfect.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of go a little quick here. I'm going to wrap up a little bit and just talk about the protocol.
Yep.
And just the science. So we've already talked about, and we've shown you social proof. We've shown you the need. We've got personal proof from the three of us on here, and plus ancillary on Kurt's mom and things. And we've seen slides. So what's the science behind this? Why do we know this works? And why did the company guarantee 90-day money-back guarantee? And here comes Kurt back.
Yeah. Hey,
and so we're going to talk about it real quick in the next 5 minutes. We'll wrap up. So if you want to look what we have, some of these are some of the institutions that have done research on our product. We have over 24 clinical research validated information. We can give you the studies. You can look our products up in the physician's desk reference. And anybody that listens to this, I double dog dare you to look up the medications that you're on. And it used to be called the physician's desk reference. Now it's the prescriber's digital reference.net. But I double dog dare you, if you're on any prescription, look it up. And we look up, you're going to find if you find a box warning, read those, because the box warnings mean it could be a black box for you. It means that you get it in the black box. And what happened was in 1991, we've been around for a while. Again, this study at the Cleveland Clinic was done in 1991 on our fiber. Remember, that was the first thing that the food people took out. The first thing that we did was build a fiber matrix so we could put fiber back in the diet. And we did this in 1991, where this test was done with the Cleveland Clinic. And listen to this. It says in the concluding marks, such a product, if taken regularly, could reduce cardiovascular risk on a population basis. What's that mean? That means if everybody could be on this product, if everybody could be on the balance, which at that time was Bios Life, it could potentially decrease the need or dose of lipid-lowering prescription drugs. Who doesn't want you to know that? What industry does not want you to know this? Mm-hmm. Think about that. What industry pays for your doctor's education? What industry pays for the textbooks? Influences what's in the textbooks and the curriculum that your doctors have. We love doctors. Don't get me wrong, but they don't get this information, but it's available to them right there. The next thing is, let's just see what else could happen to you. So we went and we had BYU say, hey, what does the American diet look like? Let's do this. Now, this would be Wyatt, okay, because Wyatt loves his pancakes. But we could go this way and give him 2 Eggo waffles, 2 tablespoons of syrup, and orange juice. Now, that would be what he might get at school, right? Or if they went to the pancake house, right? Although there'd be 5 plates of bacon, which is the best thing in the world. But anyway, there would be 420 calories. There would be 51 things of sugar, 89 carbs. Now, the yellow line right here, guys, is what it is without the balance. This, our balance, takes care of that and lowers it by 43%. The number one selling drug that they give diabetics, the number one selling drug in the world, doesn't do 30%. The question is, would you rather take a chemical with a black box warning, or would you have something natural, which is food, that has no negative interactions at all? Which would you rather have? It's right there. Okay? Then let's look at the next one. This is our tea. This is the thing that we all love. This tea. This is so good. It's just fun to drink. It's sweet. But it's yerba mate. Now, here's the thing. All yerba mates are not the same. You can go to the store and buy a can of yerba mate. It's yellow. It's about yay big. And it says yerba mate. And it's a tea. But ours is different because, one, the leaves are handpicked. We have a patented process. The extraction is 370 times the concentration. And it will naturally raise your GLP-1 naturally by 60%. If you look at the cans of people that they buy, you look at all the sugar that's in it. What the flying horse hang? I'm just resting my case on some of this stuff. You're like, okay. So remember when I said F off? Remember I said fast, order of food, fiber, fat, protein. This explains it right there. This is a spike. This is your high carbs. Look what it does to your insulin. Look how nice it is if you just eat fiber and you have fats and you have protein. Your body is much, much happier. We do not need carbs. Carbs are not necessary. I don't care who you are, what you read. Carbs are not necessary because your body converts things to all the carbs it needs, and ketosis gets you the rest of the energy you ever need. You don't need carbs. It's an unnecessary ingredient. So quickly, just to let you know, we have 5 patents. Nobody can copy or make this. We've been tested and studied with research studies in Cleveland Clinic, Sydney, University of Sydney, BYU, and more. It's safe and natural. It's guaranteed. And what do I mean by guaranteed? We know that this works. We've shown you our proof and social proof. We know that it works. The company knows it works. We have hundreds of thousands of people on this. We know it works, and we know it works so well that it will guarantee. You have a 90-day no-risk guarantee. If you follow the protocol, if you follow the procedure, we can prove to you by blood work that you do with your doctor that it works. But there's a 100% money-back guarantee on 90 days. Cost neutral, we already know you're spending more than $10 a day on all this other stuff. This is barely $5 a day. And we're global. We are global. So in 1990 is when we came up with this out of the old Rexall drug. They brought this out. We're going to put fiber in the system. 91 was the first research done. Unicity became the company in 2001. Stewart owns this, by this. We are family owned. We have all the trust. Have patents in it. We have no debt. Name a company that you know has no debt. That's global. That controls all their own manufacturing, owns all their own manufacturing, owns all their own distribution. Name another company that's debt-free. Isn't. There isn't one. We are it. And we control the whole process. You cannot buy this retail other than Amazon for about $80 more. You don't get the 90-day money-back guarantee. You don't get Kurt as a coach, John as a coach. You don't get me to help you and understand it and explain it to you. If you buy something at Amazon, it's like buying something at Home Depot or Lowe's or anything else. Do you get someone to help you understand how it works? No, here it is. Have a good day. You're lucky you find someone to check you out. We're here to help you. We want you to be successful. We want you to be successful. Why? Because when you become successful, what you're going to do is people are going to see that you are feeling better and that you are doing well. And they're going to ask you about what are you doing? What are you doing? Why do you look like you do? Why are you happier? Why are you smaller? Why are you walking better? Why? Well, because I'm just drinking this here tea. I don't know. It just works. I just drink it. Well, they're going to want, well, can I get it? Well, I guess you could. I have a link. And if everybody gets a link and they take your link, you get $10. If you become a partner, it's an opportunity to have an income and create a business. But everybody gets a link. The company is so confident you can use that link as many times as you want. Think about that. Name another company that gives you, as a customer, the opportunity to get money off of your next purchase because you referred somebody. Doesn't happen. That's how confident they are in the program. That's how confident they are in the product that's a 90-day money-back guarantee. So I'm going to wrap this up, closing this out. Oh, well, 2 things. I like talking about this right here. One of the things about this is that from a patient profile, if you've watched this and are watching this now, you know that you're broken. Well, they've told you you're broken if you're on a prescription at all. And they say you are, well, you're diabetic. You have high blood pressure. You have PCOS. You have a cardiovascular issue. You have high blood pressure. You have all these things. And here's your yum, and you're going to take it forever. Versus here, we're going to restore your function. We want you to be confident and not dependent. And so the last thing as we wrap this up, I want you guys to know that Kurt has a link, and his link is right down here, and Life Choice. Great. That's part of his link, Life Choice. John has a link, and I don't see it. My link is Heal My Body. But guys, the conclusion here is this. It works. It's natural. It goes to the root cause. It's simple, easy, and it's adaptable. You don't have to count calories. You don't have to eat a special way. You don't have to say no. I had pizza the other night. I just drank Balance before it. I mean, come on. You know, I heard Kurt going through a drive-through the other day. I don't know. He ordered like 15 burgers, and I don't know what all he ordered. But, but I know that in the car he had his Balance. I know he had his Balance right there. So
I had a truckload, though.
It's all good, right? You did there. I know you did. I hear you. I see it. I know the world. But the guys, we laugh about it because it's a joy. It's simple. And we get to help people. And it's a serious thing. It really is a serious thing that we deal with. But I know that if we had our choice and our ability, and we know what we know now, and we had a time machine, I know that Kurt, if he could, would go back and save his dad. I know John would go back and save his dad. And I know I'd go back and save my dad. So, guys,
and you know, go ahead, George.
Yeah, it's an issue. We know we can help people, and we want to help them to the front. We know we can help you now and going forward. And we know that you know at least 10 people that could use this, that need this. They need your help. So reach out if you can to us or come back to another time, but we want to help you. John, you wanted to say a last word? What would you like to say?
It's, you know, just because, you know, it's all positive, not only positive for yourself, but for everybody that you know that would want to take part. And so, you know, it's not like you're not going to scam somebody out of any money or whatever, create fraud anywhere. You're improving everything. So it's plus. Everything's good.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's 100%. If you have 100% money back guarantee, do you think the company is going to put something out there that they're going to return money back because it fails? No way. It works. They know it works. We have the scientific proof to work. We are living proof. So, guys, John, Kurt, thanks for coming on. Kurt, do you have anything else you want to say while we wrap up?
No, I'm good. Yeah,
right,
no,
perfect.
I'm good. I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
It's all good. Guys,
Great.
we love you. Thanks for coming on. Have a great night. I'm happy we got
George.
through this.
Bye, Kurt.
We got through this.